So what's up everybody, welcome to the Q&A. Let's get my glasses on for this one, Claire. We've got the drinks in, cheers. Time to chill, time to answer some questions. Drink. Modelo.
Pepsi Max.
Well, we just want to start by saying thanks everybody. Again, it's been awesome feedback on this one. We was going to do this Q&A on the back of the last video like we did last time, but it had been far too long. We also talked about live streaming, but we did already say we were going to do this as a pre-recorded thing when we put out the post about asking questions. That's not to say we're not going to do some live streaming going forward. We might do that just casually. Maybe pre-trips and things like that, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we appreciate all the feedback when we did ask which you'd prefer, because I know the live streaming did come out top, but we just thought no, we'll stick to this, but that's not saying we won't live stream in the future at some point every now and then, because we might start doing that. Yeah,
we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try one day, but it's not really something in our wheelhouse really. We've never done live streaming before. We'll give it a go. You know, it'd be fun. Have a few drinks, catch up with everybody now and then, but we haven't got any solid plans for that right now. But that being said, let's get straight into this. We're just going to read these straight off his Facebook group, because that's where we put the actual Q&A thing out. We're not doing this in any particular order of importance or anything like that, so we're just going to basically run up the list, see what we've got. Right, so let's kick it off with Victoria Barraclough. Which was your favourite hotel of the stay? Everywhere you stayed seemed to be great, so I wondered which you liked the best. What did you reckon, Claire? What were your favourite?
My favourite hotel, and none of them was bad apart from Aria, which is another story.
Yeah.
For an all-rounder, it's got to be Cosmo. Bellagio is a very close second, but I think the casino does it for me in Cosmo compared to Bellagio. I prefer it. But for service, the room, the casino, the drink service, as an all-rounder, Cosmo, definitely.
I've always loved Cosmo. I've always loved the service in Cosmo. Got me. I mean, I'm quite happy that it's going to go to M Life, but I've just got a feeling it's going to lose a little bit of its quirk when it goes to M Life, especially things like drink service, because I mean the service in there is always brilliant. Checking in, checking out, staff were great, the room were awesome. But Bellagio, I'd put it on par. We loved Bellagio.
Yeah, definitely go back.
Aria, no, because of the room. No. I won't stay in Aria again until the sort of issues out. That put a bit of a bad taste in his mouth.
Nothing wrong with the resort downstairs at all. We still love the restaurants. We still loved the casino and everything. The service we received when we went down and actually mentioned what was wrong with the room wasn't good at all. No, so that's another reason why I won't go back.
That was quite bad actually.
Yeah, it was. They just weren't interested.
Yeah, they weren't.
I'm afraid to say they was not interested at all. So yeah, Aria's definitely, but Circa, loved Circa as well.
Awesome.
Downtown. Yeah. That is the only hotel I would ever stop at.
I'll stay at Circa again, definitely. I mean, I'd put it up there with those two, but I just separated it up because it's just a downtown casino. Yeah. But Circa's awesome. Yeah. I mean,
it's a strip hotel downtown.
The rooms are great. Yeah. The rooms are really nice.
For a basic room, and we did have the basic room. I was really surprised. It was very tastefully decorated. It was really comfortable. The bathroom was immaculate. The shower was really big.
Massively powerful shower as well. Nearly knocked me over.
Yeah, and the view, they had a massive window here. The view were really nice.
The view over the rear is great.
So Circa, I definitely recommend. If none of you have ever stopped there, it is a place to be. It's not the cheapest downtown hotel by far. I know that, and you know, I wouldn't say I'd pay a hell of a lot of money to stay there because it's downtown. And you know how I feel about that. But yeah, as an all-rounder, it's a good hotel. The next question is Matthew Ball. When in Vegas, regards to jet lag, What time do you get up in the mornings, and do you have an afternoon nap before heading out in the evening, or do you just push through?
I never nap because I can't. I've never been able to nap. Even if I'm overly tired, I can't nap, and I'm always awake around 6 a.m.
I can nap, but I refuse to because I just think if you go to sleep for a couple of hours, you feel like crap, and it takes me another hour to get going. So I'd just much rather come back to. In fact, we were hardly in Rome this holiday, were we? Really?
No, not really.
We're literally going back to get changed, to freshen up, to go back out again. So I didn't have time for a nap.
So yeah, I'm always up about 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm a light sleeper as it is. We just always push through because no napping.
And the I like lies in, I've got to say, because I do get up early for work all the time. But on this trip, I had jet lag so bad, I couldn't sleep until after 8 o'clock. It was
But
just
she likes a lying, Claire.
Yeah.
Just like when you saw me go down to Circa to cash that 150 back in. I went to Circa, I came back, I got breakfast, and Claire was still in bed. So that's generally how it is.
Probably up 8, 9 o'clock, aren't we? I mean, you're up before
I'm
then,
up a long
8,
time
9
before
o'clock.
that.
You know, I might lie in bed for a bit.
Yeah. So anyway, next question. Splitting tens, Craig, how are you going, mate? Loved the vlogs. Here's some questions. What is your current favourite slot machine? I better know what Claire's is.
Mine was a Wizard of Oz.
Over the Rainbow.
The Over the Rainbow one. I really enjoyed that. It gave me a game. It had lots of different bonuses on it. I didn't get them all actually, so there's some I still haven't seen. But I mean, you saw I got for that 75 cents bet. I got a really good win out of it, so that softens it as well. But yeah, I'd say that one.
I mean, going on historically, we've always loved Buffalo. So if I'm going on Buffalo machines, the one at the minute that's awesome is the Wild Buffalo. You saw me playing it a couple of times on vlog, but when I go back, if it's still there, I'll definitely be giving that another shot. I love the concept of it, how it mixes up the Wild and Buffalo Grand. It's pretty awesome. But I wouldn't say I had a favourite at the minute. I like a lot of different games, and I usually generally prefer aristocrat games, but I love aristocrat scientific games. But yeah, I mean, I know that we are favourite, but so hopefully that answers your question in some regard, Craig. Stuart Pritchard, what was your favourite thing this trip, considering it's been so long coming? For me, I was just happy to get back. And it was nice to visit Vegas at a different time of year with a completely different vibe, completely different temperature, and it was a very different trip to what we generally do. So yeah, I loved all that about it.
I enjoyed. Probably my favourite part was just being able to walk around without sweating to death. That was nice. And it just seemed to make things a lot easier getting around because you're not running in and out of hotels to get into air conditioning and stuff. It was just more relaxed and chilled, and you could just take as long as you wanted outside. So yeah, I enjoyed the walking. It was pleasant.
And on top of that, actually, Stu, I actually really enjoyed staying downtown because that's the first time I've ever done that. I was really looking forward to Circa anyway, and I really enjoyed that part of it, which broke it up a little. But yeah, that kind of answers your question, mate.
Splitting Tens has asked another question. Obviously, you love vlogging and we all love watching them, but who are your favourites to watch? Nicky?
Over the years, I've watched a lot of vlogs. Like back in early days, before anybody were doing that, I used to watch people like Diana Vone. I used to watch people like SD Guy years ago. But these days, I don't really watch that many, and it's a time thing. And I mean, there's so many people doing it now. There's so many, you just can't keep up with it. But I like Jason and Kaylee. I mean, Jason and Kaylee, Vegas Con Show, they're new to it. They do really good vlogs. They put everything into them. That's the kind of thing I like to see.
Bit of variety.
I like Grumpy Dad, Matt Wallace, shout out to you, mate. I like your videos. You're the same. You had a bit of variety. You know how to make a video. I like Ogden 2 Cent. I've always liked Ogden 2 Cent. They've always got a different turn on Vegas vlogs. They like to do a lot of historic things and visit more quirky things that you wouldn't generally see in a regular video. And I do like the novel. They've got a bit of novelty. I like that. I mean, what about you, Claire, at the moment?
I always watch Team Claire vlogs. I just like the fact it's laid back. It's sometimes she's with her family and things, and I just like all the hotels she visits. Yeah, it's totally different. It's not a slot channel at all, and I like that as well. Yeah. And we went to visit Vegas, Michelle and Dave. I like watching them as well, just the banter between them and walking around. That's totally different again. But
everybody does Vegas different.
Yeah,
and
that's what I like.
It's quite cool. I don't watch that many slot channels, to be honest.
No, I'm not into slot channels.
A lot of the time these days, they all just roll into one half of the time. I'm not that bothered. I watch a couple of eye-limit ones now and again, but really, I could probably count on one hand these days how many I watch, to be quite honest with you. No. So Suzanne Goody, have you ever used room comps via the My Vegas app? We got nearly 800,000 points between us already. Not sure whether to use for a comp night in Bellagio or somewhere else, or if not, would you use them for? Now, I've got loads of points on My Vegas, Suzanne, but I mean, I don't really use it that much these days, and when I have used it in past, it's just simple things like a buy one get one free meal, free buffet.
Which is handy, really.
It's handy to have.
Save a little bit of money.
I didn't even look at it this trip, if I'm honest, but I've never used it for a comp because we've always earned as comps the regular way. I've never used it for a comp, but it's alright for buy one get one free meal. It's good for free play if you want a bit of free play.
There's shows on it.
You can get back. Oh yeah, we've used it for buy one get one free shows in past, like when we went to see Car, when we went to see Beatles Love. We got all those buy one get one free, so it's worth it for that kind of thing. But I don't think it's as accessible as it used to be.
She says, would you use it for a comp night?
No, like I said, I wouldn't use it for a comp night because we get as regular comps. So.
Yeah. John Goodland, guys, I've noticed you mentioned how you miss sitting by the pool. We are pool people and wondered whether you guys would A, recommend going in January, and B, would you go again in January?
We always do pools, mate. This trip in January, or the first trip, we didn't do pools because obviously the weather and most pools are closed. But you can use the pools in January. I mean, such as Circa, for example, open all the time. Some of the days we were there, it was good weather and you could have gone and sat by the pool. But yeah, when on the regular vlogs you watch, if you notice, I usually do a pool video. I always show the pools in a separate video.
Would you recommend going in January though?
If you want to do it differently, a bit of a different vibe and obviously cooler temperatures, yeah. For us, that's probably a one and done. I would have said January. We will going forward. We'll probably stick to summer months, like usually September or maybe earlier. But yeah, I've
got to say, the best thing about the January bit was how quiet it was. I mean, the COVID probably would have contributed to that as well. But I loved how quiet it was. We were able to make reservations in whatever restaurants we wanted on the day we wanted to go. Yeah. You didn't have to queue for anything. You could get around everywhere. It was just so much more comfortable. You could get on any machine you wanted in the casino.
Yeah. I mean, it does generally get like that in January, apart from CES. I mean, as you know, we went there. CES were on while we were there, but because of the COVID thing and the company's pulling out, it's not like it usually is. But when CES is usually on, it's absolutely jam-packed. Yeah. But yeah, just after New Year without CES, it's kind of quiet.
And I would say I did miss a pool. I do think it breaks your day up. Yeah. I think you spend more when you haven't got that option of going to the pool because you're finding other things to do, and that's normally around money. Yeah. I did miss a pool, and I probably won't go again in January.
Yeah, so basically to answer your question there, John, normally we go to the pool most days. Yeah. And we might only have a couple of hours, or sometimes Claire will stay there a bit longer. I might toddle off and take a few shots maybe. But yeah, we do generally use it most days, mate. Katie Chandler, love to see you guys back in Vegas. Have you booked your next trip yet? So there's a question that a lot of people have been waiting for, and yes, we have. And we're pleased to say that we're going back in July of this year. July the 9th, I believe, Claire.
Hot, hot, hot.
It's going to be roasting hot. So basically, guys, we've booked...
One extreme to another.
Yeah, we've booked Virgin flights in July, and we're flying to Los Angeles. And to set it off, we're doing a California thing again. Not quite like the last one, but more of what we lost out on back in 2020. So we're flying to Los Angeles, and we've already booked an Airbnb on Huntington Beach, and we've got 3 nights in Huntington Beach. That's all we've got planned for it at the moment.
We're there for 11 nights.
We're there for 11 nights, so we've got the 3 on Huntington Beach.
We are going to go somewhere else, I think, as well.
We might do that, but we're also thinking about having a night at Red Rock and before we hit the trip. So it's going to be an interesting one, and it's definitely in place. July 9th through to like July 23rd.
We won't be in Vegas July 9th though.
So
It'll be the later.
First 3 nights is on the beach.
And I think another couple of nights will be somewhere like that.
It could be.
It'll be the last week we're probably in Vegas.
Yeah, we haven't.
There's nothing concrete.
There's nothing concrete yet, but July 9th is his next trip.
So not too far away.
Not too far away. So
the only thing I'm a bit is how hot it's going to be. I know it's going to be boiling, and you know.
Well, I'm hoping to make a couple of stops in Death Valley, mate. Well, it's like roasting hot. I know you're not, but I can't wait. You know. But yeah, that answers your question, Katie. So I'm sure a few people are waiting for that one.
Laura Goodland. Absolutely love the vlogs again. Such professional editing and so entertaining. Thank you both. So my question is, what is the benefit of changing the denomination of on the slots? And from your experience, are wins more likely on a lower denomination?
Well, firstly with that one, Laura, generally the only time I'll change denomination on the slot is if I'm playing like Ultimate Fire Link or Lightning Link or Dragon Link, and you put it up to 10 cents. So it just kind of boosts those jackpot bonuses a bit higher, such as like rather than your minor being like 50, it'll be like 500. And other than that, to answer your question a bit more specifically, you're not more likely to do anything. Don't get caught up in that kind of thing. If you do this, if you do that, you're going to win more. It's completely random.
You'll win more in value if your denominations are higher, obviously, but you've not got more chance of winning.
No. But,
like anything.
But don't get caught up in little myths like that. Such as, I mean, we've had these conversations before. I did mention it in my vlog about the advantage play on these games, the new things, which is kind of a step even further from like the closing pots. You guys have seen things like dancing drums, anything like that where the pots are closing. People generally choose the machine where it's more full. It doesn't mean anything. That if you look at the rules on those games, it literally tells you that it's just for visual purposes only. It doesn't mean anything. So try not to get caught up in that kind of thing, because it catches people out. It's designed to do that. It's fun, you know. But it doesn't mean anything in grand scheme of things.
Steve Smith, would either of you consider doing a Vegas solo trip?
Alright, Steve, local boy.
I wouldn't, because I just enjoy going with Nicky.
Yeah, same to be quite honest with you. Yeah.
Aww.
You know, I'm all art. But
no, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't like to think they were going to Vegas without me either, by the same token.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, as much as we joke about and banter, a solo trip's never been on my radar, and I know a lot of people do enjoy them, like the quick 4-nighters. If I'm honest, I'm not bothered about going for 4 nights either.
No.
Excuse me, it's Modelo, Claire, honestly.
Not after this jet lag we've had this time, I wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah, but honestly, if I went on my own, I'd much prefer it, Claire. We bounce off each other, we have good times, we have good fun, and I'd rather us both go together. It's not really for me a solo trip.
Katie Louise. Favourite hotel to gamble, and do you take $300 each per day or £300 English money? Do you feel this is enough? Well, it's like this. It's got to be enough, because I'm not prepared to take any more.
Yeah. So basically, to answer that question, we take $300. We've always done that. You guys, if you've watched the vlogs, you see what we do, the things we've done. It's sufficient, you know. And obviously, a win and lose, and we base quite a lot of things off what we win and what we don't win, and we'll have a few things in place, but it's enough. Yeah,
and I mean, it's obviously not enough if you're wanting to get up and gamble day and night. That's never going to last. Oh God, no amount of money is going to make that.
It's enough for us, basically.
It's enough for us and all that I'm prepared to lose.
Yes, exactly.
At the end of the day, it's what you're prepared to lose, and that is enough for me. I mean, fair enough, that's not just gambling money.
No, it's for everything.
Yeah,
that's
and we use as winnings like you've seen for extras, but for me, that is all I'm prepared to lose and
it's for everything. So, you know, it's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of money for some people.
Yeah,
for some other people.
For others.
For some other people, it's nothing, but we've always done well.
For us, it's adequate.
We've always done well with that kind of amount. I mean, look at this trip we've just done. I want to watch them all myself back to back for memories, and we did loads of stuff. We had one thing what we were paying for, what was separate to us 300, and that was that meal and the strap.
We did have a show booked.
And we had a show
that
booked.
Got cancelled, Shin Lim.
And that's the next question, coming on to
right.
Alfie. I just noticed that actually. Alfie Paul Thomas, alright mate. And he says, how come you didn't do any shows this trip? So basically we had Shin Lim booked at the Mirage.
Which we actually had booked in 2020 as well.
We lost it a couple of times. So when we went, the night we went to Mayfair Supper Club, well, the night we were supposed to go to a show, and it got cancelled literally just the day before. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll might rebook it again. We've had it booked loads of times, that show. It just seems to be
not meant to be.
Yeah.
Laura Goodland, we budget the same as you, $300 each a day. You mentioned things seemed more expensive this trip. Would you want to take more dollar per day for your next trip? Well, the answer would be no.
No, not really.
But I would say I think Vegas was quite expensive.
It is getting expensive.
Yeah, compared to what we love and know from years and years ago, it is.
Yeah, it's changed a lot over years.
So have we changed what we do?
Yeah.
We never used to drink in cocktail bars and things like that. That's something we never did.
Yeah.
So obviously, it did work out expensive that way.
Ever since like 2016 though, we've always had the same budget. So from that period of time, there is a noticeable change in prices, and there's, like I said in that one of the later vlogs, there's a lot of nickel and diming going off. There's a lot of hidden charges in some of these restaurants, and you know, I've seen a lot of examples online where people are showing receipts with charges. That doesn't even make any sense. Some of them, you know, the restaurants with bookings, and you know, if you want a window seat, it's this amount of money. You know, they didn't used to do things like that. So yeah, it is getting quite expensive.
I also don't think the shopping's as good a value as what it used to be. I think
depends what you're buying though.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, I mean, years ago you'd go to America because it was cheap and you get all your shopping, your presents and everything. Now you really have to watch what you get. You have to price it up in Britain before you go over there, because some things aren't. If you're
buying bloody stuff you're buying, it's not going to be cheap.
No, but I'm on about the outlets and things. I mean, I bought them Levi's. They weren't particularly cheap.
No,
really. I mean, from years ago.
No.
God, you used to get them dirt.
There's some. At the end of the day, you can still do stuff cheap. You can still do stuff really expensive, and you can still do stuff kind of in middle of the road.
Do your own work.
You can do how you want to do, but in the general scheme of things, I think it has got a bit pricey. Yeah.
James Aslett. You said Lakeside was the best meal you had. What was the best value meal or activity you did? Favourite off-strip casino, best drink service, and would you stay downtown
how many questions does James want, like? Lakeside was the best meal.
Yes.
Definitely.
Overall, you know, it was not dissing the...
not dissing any of them.
Because that were nice as well.
We didn't have a bad meal anywhere, to be honest. So.
But Lakeside was the best meal.
And the service... top drawer.
The best value meal though?
I think best value meals are probably the ones we have off strip, downtown maybe. I think you definitely get a lot bang for your buck with that and better value.
Favourite off strip casino?
I loved Red Rock.
I liked Red Rock.
Red Rock's gorgeous, but I tell you what, I loved Samstown. I thought Samstown was a special place. But when it comes to going somewhere to stay, we're definitely planning on going to Red Rock.
Silverton were nice as well.
They were all good. I mean, I'm not dissing anything.
Yeah.
But I loved Samstown. I want to spend some more time there. But Red Rock's definitely somewhere we want to stay. Best drink service, mate. Cosmopolitan every time. Can't beat Cosmopolitan for drink service. Don't care what anybody says. It's amazing drink service, that place. Always is.
And we would stay downtown again. Yeah. But it'd have to be Circa.
Yeah, we'll stay in Circa again for sure, yeah. Okay, Sean Kirby, what's the breakdown of your budget? Food versus drinks versus gambling, shows, activities, etc. We don't really have a breakdown, mate. We put in kind of a half itinerary, if you would. I'll try and have like one thing planned every day. Like this trip, for example, the only thing out of budget we planned was the strap meal, like I said, up on top of the world, and the show that we booked, what got cancelled. But when it comes to food, drinks budget, while we're actually there, we just wing it from off every day, don't we?
Yeah.
We get us 300 each, boom, boom, and we're away.
And we have to plan it as you would.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going for that meal tonight, so I need to have that money there. and the rest of it then I've got for gambling, drinking, you know, doing anything else I want.
In that respect, mate, we're pretty steady with it. To be fair, we're not super like strict.
No.
I've got to.
No.
We just have as money,
it's gone.
and it's gone. Like a lot of things on this trip we've just had, it were based off where we were those days with us budget when it come to gambling, you know. So like the meal at Supper Club, the meal at Lakeside. You know, if I didn't have that extra put away from my gaming, I wouldn't have done that. I'd have probably gone somewhere cheaper. So we base a lot off what we're doing.
Would have been Nacho Daddy's or something.
Would have been Nacho Daddy, mate. Yeah, or what do you call it? Crack Shack again.
Crack Shack. Oh, Crack Shack.
It's a Crack Shack. I tell you. Right. Oh, Gina Kerry. All right, Gina G. Fabulous vlogs as usual. Are you ever going to do a group poll again? How fabulous would it be to revert back to that original list of 2020? I remember that list, and I've still got the Facebook group on my phone, actually, on the messenger. But I've not really thought much about it, Gina, since we did that, actually. Maybe I will do it in future. I've got no solid plans to do that at the moment.
We had no intention of doing it on this trip. We just started. It was just the fact we were getting back to Vegas finally and just enjoying what we had.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens though. You know, if we go at a time when there's going to be a lot of people there, and we'll see. I'm not going to say we're definitely going to do it though. So.
Yeah. Robert Ashworth. Obviously, you both love Vegas. But what things don't you always agree on when you are there? Things to do, places to eat, etc. Well, we're always going to sort of have to watch for places to eat because I'm a fussy eater and I don't always I don't like steak for starters. So going to these really expensive steakhouses is not really going to cut it for me.
It's not much of a disagreement. My eyes start rolling into the back of my head when she starts talking about shopping and stuff.
Yeah, but we compromise.
Yeah, we compromise.
I go to Valley of Fire.
Who don't want to go to Valley of Fire? This is ridiculous.
So yeah.
Valley of Fire, South Outlets. Alright then. But yeah, I mean, food-wise, Claire's a bit more of a fussy eater. So one year, I wanted to go to Prime at Bellagio. But when we looked at the menu, it weren't really that suitable for Claire. There wasn't hardly anything on there for Claire, so we changed it up. I think we ended up going to Gordon Ramsay's steak instead. On this trip, I actually booked tickets to, is it called Area 15? And I was going to go to Omega Mart. And I didn't tell Claire. When Claire got wind of it, she's like, no, I'm not going there.
No, not interested.
So that just changed.
It's not a disagreement now.
You know, we do compromise, but she was like, flat out, I'm not going there.
No,
it was crap. No. so we didn't go. Mark Beresford, which casino did you find best for the free drinks when gambling?
Resorts World were alright, wasn't it? I will give Resorts World that, but it was very quiet. So what it's like on a normal, Cosmo's always best.
Resorts World were good.
Resort World were good. Win. And prior to that, I wouldn't say Win would have been at top up there, but when we were there, Win was.
It's always good in a place like that because you get premium drinks every day. So you go to Win, you go to Cosmo, you go to Resorts World. Yeah. You ask for something like a cocktail, you're going to get that cocktail. If you go to, I don't know, Luxor or Excalibur and you ask for that kind of cocktail, you ain't really going to get that kind of cocktail. So.
Sean Kirby, could you go through your camera equipment and editing software? Over to you, Nicky.
Yeah, so basically I use Adobe Premiere Pro right now. Prior to about 12 months ago, I used to use Filmora, which is a much more basic editing software package. But Adobe Premiere Pro, that's like your professional stuff like that, and Final Cut Pro and things like that. It's a very good tool. It's a monthly subscription, you've got to pay for it. But it's a complete sandbox. I mean, you can do anything with this. I've got so much to learn. I'm learning new things every time I use it, but it's an absolute powerhouse of a program. Kit-wise, I'm currently using the Canon G7X Mark III. I also have the Canon G7X Mark II, which most of my previous vlogs were shot on. One thing I will say about this, actually, because it's come up a few times in comments, is sometimes you might find that there's a little bit of an autofocus issue or a little bit of a blur issue. And the Canon G7X Mark III, which is my current camera, that's famously got an autofocus issue, that camera. When it came out, it didn't get great feedback because the Mark II, which I also have, it was like the best vlogging camera you could get for a compact camera. And when they fetched out the Mark III, and they tried to be a bit too clever with the sensor and the lens, and it created this little bit of an autofocus issue. There's been a firmware update, but it hasn't really fixed it. It is noticeable. I see it in the videos. It is quite noticeable. But sometimes what you don't see, I'll be shooting something and it'll completely go out of focus. And I'll just retake it. It is a bit annoying. It is what it is for a minute. I mean, these are expensive cameras. The Mark III that I'm talking about, it's a 700 quid camera. It's like $1,000 camera. But if it weren't for that, it would be the perfect vlogging camera because it's got everything. I mean, for shooting pictures, it's brilliant. It's got mic jack. It's got 120 frames a second, 4K. You name it. It's got everything. It is a real brilliant piece of kit. It's just got this little autofocus issue. It's an annoyance, but I'll just put up with it for now. I also use my phone a little bit. I like to do a few wide angle shots, that kind of thing. Music, I use Artlist. A lot of you have probably heard of Epidemic Sounds. It's a monthly subscription for like royalty-free music. I don't use Epidemic now, but I use one called Artlist, which is pretty much the same thing. It's an annual subscription. You've got to pay for this kind of stuff. But yeah, Adobe Premiere Pro for editing. I use the Canon cameras. A bit of stuff on my phone, not that much. Artlist, and I also have the drone, which I didn't take. I've got the DJI Mini 2 drone as well.
Yeah. Kaylee Rex, who do you fly with, and when would you say was the best time of year to visit? I mean, we like to fly with Virgin, preferably. I mean, first time we've ever gone with BA was this time, and I weren't that impressed, to be fair. It were a really old plane going out, really old.
It was a terrible
It was a terrible flight, to be fair. Service were good, but the plane itself were horrible and not very comfortable.
No, they're all much of a much, to be fair, but we prefer Virgin.
We prefer Virgin, and that's who we've booked with in July.
Yeah.
When would you say the best time of year? I like September. That's just in general, anywhere I go, I like September.
And it's always been a thing that we'd go in September because we've always generally gone on big holidays around my birthday.
And it's your birthday.
It's like the beginning of September. We've always done that historically,
A non-Vegas related question from Rob Turner was, which country or city in the world other than Vegas that you've never been to before would tempt you on a trip and vlog?
Right, so
I think we could both agree with this one.
So quite a while ago we went to China on a tour and we really enjoyed it, and it was before I started vlogging properly, and we've always said if we were vlogging that properly it'd have been awesome.
It would have been.
We've always said one day we'll go to Japan.
Yeah.
We've always fancied going to Japan on a tour, like a Virgin tour or something like that. And to vlog something like that, I think it'd be awesome. I think you'd be able to get some of the coolest shots, and I can just see it now. I can just see it. It'll be a brilliant vlog and such a good experience. But it's not on the radar yet.
But it's a bucket list.
We will be. We've been fortunate enough to visit most places in the world we want to visit.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have said to, "Oh, why do you always go to Vegas?" But we've been all over prior to Vegas. You know, we've been to all the places we want to see. But Japan is definitely a place we do want to visit one day. Kaylee Rex, non-Vegas question. Any plans to cruise again? We loved your cruise vlogs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
We enjoyed it.
No definite plans in place, but it's on the horizon probably.
Yeah, we'd like to do probably a Caribbean one. We'd also like to do that Alaska one. That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
But
it's opened us up now. Well, not once we've done that one. We enjoyed it that much that now is a good option for us.
Yeah, we did enjoy that.
Adrian Quinn, what is missing from Vegas? If a developer built on a spare lot on the Strip or downtown, what should be the theme target clientele? Well, for me, the theme, I've said this before in a previous Q&A, it's got to be a British hotel complex.
There was going to do that, actually.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's missing. We could have fish and chip shops, you know, pie and mash shops. That's it. It's there.
Well, leave your job, Claire. I'm
in the wrong job.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Adrian, when you're saying target a clientele, I don't think that's a wise move for anywhere. I mean, we were talking about this with Resorts World, and Resorts World opened, and they were banging on about we're targeting the Asian market, and it's an Asian company and all that. And that's not a great way to go ahead with business, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, I'm no expert. But when you're saying you're targeting a certain demographic, I just don't think it's going to work. And then they did like a U-turn saying, "Oh no, we're targeting everyone." And people don't forget stuff like that, you know. And it's I don't know. I think it was a bit misquoted in the they were saying that was a silly thing to say, but no, I don't think you should be targeting a specific clientele as such. It should be for everyone, you know. John Breen, hi Nicky and Claire, just wondering the tip situation in Vegas and how much would you tip in every situation?
The tipping is no different to any other time.
We'd always tip 20%. Yeah, we always tip 20%.
We always have done, we always will do. That's no different. Obviously, prices are more expensive, so you're going to obviously tip more. And let's face it, out of a full holiday, say we were there 10 nights this time. Yeah. 10 nights, you're using a lot of money for tipping when you add it all up. I
mean, sometimes you go to a place and it'll have the receipt, it'll have a breakdown, and it'll say like a quoted tip, it might say 12%, 15%, 20%. But generally, like when we go for
us, we always
pay 20%.
We're 20, yeah.
And you get a great service.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get that kind of service over here. And we get a great service. I do not mind giving those kind of tips. Rob Travis, Holly wants to know what editing software you use and how many times you think you'll visit Vegas this year. Hello Holly, we watched your videos actually. It's good to see. Good to see a take from a kid's point of view. We enjoyed that, so if you do any more, we'll be watching them. But like I've just said in the other question, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody who's new to video editing because it's a very steep learning curve. I would recommend something like Filmora for a beginner's package. It's quite user-friendly, you know, if you wanted to look into something like that. But how many times do you think we'll visit this year?
One more time.
We've got the one more in July. We won't be going again this year. No. That'll be so it'll be them 2 trips this year. That's more than enough for us to be fair.
Yeah. Emma Louise, how much actual time would you say is spent gambling per day? We found $100 could disappear in 10 minutes. How do you make the gambling budget last?
It depends how we're playing, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I might spend $40 in a black breakfast time. I might win, I might lose. If I lose, that's a 40 gone, and I won't put any more in till night time.
We don't cater for it. We just play as we play. Yeah. If we win, we'll play more. If we lose, we'll cut it short. It's just one of them things.
To make it last,
and $100 can only last 10 minutes.
Just don't gamble.
Even if you're only low betting, $100 could only last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's volatile. Slot machines are volatile, but good luck with a baby, and it's good to see that you and Ryan got back as well. We were really happy to see that.
Are you vlogging actually? That's the other question. Are you doing the vlog?
You know, talking about people we like to watch. When you guys were making videos, I used to love watching those, especially when you were driving wrong way down road in LA. That was just classic.
Oh God. Kelly Ziltz. When's your next trip, which we've already answered? What's the best show you've seen in Vegas? What is your biggest win ever?
What? Best show? I used to love Le Rev, and it's not there now.
Le Rev was my favourite.
Yeah, but apparently they're opening a new show. I think it's going to be called Olympus or something like that. So we'll look out for that. But Le Rev, when it were open, were by far my favourite.
My biggest win, once it's still the one in Prim.
Your biggest win? Oh, your biggest win was about 3,500, I think. No, it's not massive.
No, it's not massive at all.
My biggest ever win is $940 in 2016 on Buffalo Gold in Excalibur, and I haven't beat it since. I've never had an ampay, as you know. But my two biggest wins on Buffalo, actually, I got 940 on Buffalo Gold, and I got about 730 on Grand. But yeah, still haven't even hit 1,000 actually. So.
Darren Ringrose, love the latest vlogs, Nicky and Claire. Quick question: I'm heading to Planet Hollywood for the first time at the end of Feb, but notice you two never really stay at any Caesars properties. Any particular reasons why? We've
had Caesars resorts booked like 3 times now because of in the COVID thing, but they all got cancelled. But we've actually still yet to stay in one. But
there's no reason why we've
had Paris booked twice. Yeah. We've had Caesars Palace booked on comps, but now we're not really seeing them comps as much, so we might still be waiting on a Caesars property.
But if we get the right comps, we will definitely be stopping at Caesars as well.
I like Caesars properties, no wrong with them.
Emma Louise, do you at any point collect air miles? We do, and actually when we did the road trip, the air miles paid for our San Francisco return flight to Vegas.
Yeah, the 2019 trip.
Paid for our full flights, which was about, at the time, them flights were £1,700.
16 or 1700, and we gone for free, apart from the taxes. For both of us, it cost us like 500 quid, so
yeah, so that saved us a lot of money. Yeah. So yeah, the air miles are well worth collecting.
Well, we're still collecting them, so going forward, we might just use them to upgrade to like premium economy or something, but yeah, they're worth collecting.
Beth and Sarah, just wanted to know how you plan out what you do each day. Do you go with the flow or plan in specific casinos, etc. for certain days? What would your top 5 must-dos for first-time visitors?
I don't know if there's a top 5, but yeah, we do plan an itinerary. Like every day, I might have a couple of things planned. Like this day we'll be meeting these people, this day we'll be meeting these, and we're going to have a day off strip this day, we're going to go downtown this day. But we don't have a massive itinerary like breakfast, lunch, dinner planned like that. We keep it loose, but
we try and before we go discuss which places we prefer to eat in, and then try and fit them in accordingly, you know, throughout the holiday, depending on where we're going to be. But other than that, it's not really set in stone, is it? Like,
no. We'll always have a few things.
We go with the flat. Yeah, we go with the flat.
As a first-time visitor, I don't know about a top 5.
Bellagio fountains at night.
Take it all in. Take it all in. You know, start from the bottom, work your way up, visit every casino. It's going to take you a couple of days to do that, and just soak it all up. As a first-time visitor, when we went, started out, it took us a couple of days just to look round everything and you just take it all in, write yourself a list of all the things you want to do, get involved in the group, on the Facebook group, and ask people, and loads of people will give you loads of opinions.
Do your own work. You know, everybody's got different tastes and different priorities. Exactly. We're all different. We all want to do Vegas differently, and that's good, because when the vlogs come out, we all get to see it done differently. And watch lots of vlogs. Yeah. That's the best thing to do. Watch loads of vlogs, different people's, and it'll give you ideas and places you've never even thought about going to. So, Ryan Council, if you both won a mega jackpot, talking like 100,000 plus, what would you do that night and the next few weeks after winning it in Vegas?
Pay mortgage off.
The first night would be drinking, eating and shopping.
Yeah, shopping.
In that order.
I ain't giving you 100 grand to go shopping with. You'll have there'll be no left.
You know, Emma, you were on about that $100 only lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah. Don't tempt her, Christ's sake.
But yeah, we just definitely enjoy it. But we would take a lot home.
Kind of money,
we would be taking a lot home.
Glenn Hammond, you only choose one Vegas resort and casino to stay ever again, and which one and why? This changes with me like weather, if I'm honest with you. Because a couple of years ago, I'd have said Mirage, and I'd have said I'd see. I always felt like Mirage were like home on the strip, and a lot of people said that about Mirage. Now, not so much. I mean, it's going to be going through. It's tired, and it's going through a transition. At the moment, if I were to. It'd either be between Bellagio and Cosmo.
If you choose one Vegas resort casino to stay at, ever again.
Yeah,
Cosmo.
Cosmo's, Cosmo. The Cosmo probably, because it's got like literally everything to offer.
Yeah.
So Steve Turton, how much do you need to spend on a player's card to start getting comped rooms? Now, to be honest, mate, you'll be surprised, and a lot of people think you need to be like massive eye rollers to get free rooms. You don't need to spend that much to get like a generic 2-3 night stay in a lot of places. And like Caesars, for example, you could put very little play in the past there, and you check your dates and you'd be surprised what you can get for free. So just make sure you put that card in the machine, make sure you use it when you're purchasing your meals and this, that and other. Those points that they rack up, and check your account and you might be surprised.
Next question is Mirage Winefus Miller, and I apologise if I've got that wrong. You both seem to get along so well together. Who has the biggest pull to want the next Vegas trip, or are you both just as excited as the other? Nicky is definitely the person who wants the biggest pull. I like Vegas, but I'm not as bothered as what I have been previously. I don't get as excited about Vegas as what I used to, I've got to say. I still like it, but I'm not as excited. It's
still a place we'll always love, and it's still a place we'll always go back to.
But I'm now wanting to incorporate other places, mix it up a bit.
This was something we were talking about earlier, actually, weren't we? So, like, I think going forward, and this was planned quite a while ago. It's only this trip because we've had that opportunity to get back. But since the 2019 trip, we've always said we're going to incorporate other places into the Vegas trip. So we want to fly to Cali again, like we are during July. A few days here, a few days there.
Maybe go further
one day
afield,
I want to go to another place, and sometimes I'll go here. We might fly into Vegas, but we're going to mix it up and incorporate it to a bigger trip.
That
to keep it novel.
Well.
We don't want to just keep going Vegas and home, Vegas and home. We do want to mix it up a bit, and I think it'll be interesting going forward. So there's going to be a lot of new places to see. I mean, we really loved the 2019 trip. And going forward, it's going to be a bit more of that, I think. So watch this space.
John Green, as you know, we love the channel and will always be a big supporter. My question is, as the channel grows, do you feel pressure to increase the number of trips you'll make to Vegas to make content? Well,
hiya, John, and again, nice to meet you, mate. We spoke to you outside Resortsville. That were good to bump into. No, I don't feel pressure to do anything. We just do what we do, and it's grown into this quite big thing, this big community. We love Vegas. We'll go back, and I'll always make these vlogs. And I don't feel pressure to do them. I don't feel pressure to go more than we do. Well,
at the end of the day, we can only go for what we can afford.
We can only do what we can afford to do. If we can afford an extra trip, a couple of trips a year, we'll do that. But no, I don't feel pressure to do it, mate. No. Danielle Ashworth, what is the Wi-Fi situation like on the Strip? Travelling in a few months and would like to keep in touch with friends, family. Heard red phone calls and text cost a small fortune. Thanks. Wi-Fi's fine. You'll always get it in the resorts. I mean, it's part of the resort fees. You'll always get it in your room. Everywhere you go, you're going to get Wi-Fi. Personally, we don't use it anymore because we get a data package anyway with EE. I get it as part of my phone contract.
I just took one out for a month.
Claire's on a year as well. She gets a bolt on, and it's much easier to have your own data, really, because when you're wanting to book Ubers and things like that, if you're on Wi-Fi, you'll want to be in the building and then go out to the ride share. Just little things like that. But don't worry about Wi-Fi. You can get Wi-Fi everywhere. It's not an issue.
How do you get, Shane Smith, how do you get all the comps?
Just use that Players Club, mate. If you're in an MGM property, put your M Life card in the machines, pay for your meals with your card, and just
that one, Nicky, pay for all your meals with the card.
I forget to do it,
We went to, where were it?
We went to Lakeside at the Wynn, and I totally forgot to use my Players card. I do that all the time, personally. But yeah, mate, just get a Players card in the casinos, M Life, total rewards for Caesars. You've got your independent properties, Cosmopolitan, it's called Identity, Venetian, it's called Grazie. They've all got their own players' cards. Get them, you get some freebies with them. It's always worth using rewards cards, guys. Vicky Clark, when checking out and you go to settle your bill, how do you ask if they can knock everything off without sounding cheeky? Do you do it at the check-in desk or at the players card desk? I've seen a few people do this, getting resort fees, waves or meals paid for. Yeah, at the end of your trip, it's always worth going, like in an MGM resort, go up to M Life desk, just give them your card, just say, have you gained any extra through your gaming? And they're always happy to help. It's not an issue, really. And we've asked that before, and I've had a couple of occasions when they've waived the resort fees, or late checkout cost or something like that. But yeah, it's worth asking. It's not cheeky, really.
Aaliyah Louise, hello Aaliyah. Top 5 restaurants for someone who's never been before.
Alright, Aaliyah.
It depends if you want to pay a lot or if you want to pay, but I mean...
It's hard to pick a top 5.
Top 5 restaurants. Well, Supper Club's going to be up there. Wynn Lakeside's going to be up there.
Good steak, I'd say Gallagher's. New York. New York's a very good steakhouse. I'd prefer the Gallagher's steak to Gordon Ramsay's steak.
But Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen.
Gordon Ramsay's steak was good service. You really loved Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen gets a lot of mixed reviews. Again, it's a preference thing. If you want Pizza Rock. You can't beat Pizza Rock.
That's downtown. That's downtown. If you're down there, that's.
But we're just reeling things off here. To give you a solid top 5, that'd be quite difficult.
And there's restaurants. I mean, there's loads of places that aren't proper restaurants that are like your Dirty
Everybody's
Dogs,
got the preferences.
Your Nacho Daddies, Crack Shack, things like that.
Exactly. It'd be very difficult to give you a top 5.
Shane Powell, I ate American style breakfast, just can't stand them. Is there anywhere on the Strip where you can get elf fruit breakfast?
Claire likes Harrier Patisserie and Bellagio Patisserie. Get some real nice healthy bits and pieces.
There's also like juice bars, isn't there, and things, the elf juice bars. Really. They're all over the place.
To be quite honest, most places where you can get the big American breakfast and that, they do have like healthy options. You can get fruit bowls, you can get yogurt parfaits and everything.
Yeah.
There's always plenty of options when it comes to breakfast, to be fair.
Yeah.
Guy Humpage, are there any major casinos on strip, downtown, off strip, etc. that you've not visited yet and want to check out on a future trip? Yeah, we were speaking to our friends there, Curtis and Kevin. Shout out to you guys who took us on the trip, and we did say we would like to go to M Resort. That's somewhere I've not been, what I've always fancied, and we would like to go to South Point as well.
Yeah.
We did say we'd like to go to those two places, and we didn't have time in this trip to visit those, but maybe next time, we'll see, depending what happens. That's two places we definitely want to hit up. So,
Joel Goddard, you have $50 to max bet on one press. What are you playing?
I know what you're playing.
Do you?
Yeah, Buffalo Gold.
Nah, it might have to be one at Buffalo's, I think, or even Wild Buffalo. I quite liked that one.
A massive max bet. I don't know. I do like Ultimate Firelink. When it comes to hold and spin games, that Ultimate Firelink's always my go-to with things like that. So maybe that. But again, it's quite an hard one to answer, really.
Mark Holland, as a big fan of old-fashioned cocktails, I saw you enjoyed several. Which was your favourite? In brackets, thinking drink quality through venue figures too. Though venue figures too.
Out of all the ones that I've had, actually, my favourite one was the one at Parasol Down. It were like a peach and mint old-fashioned. That were really nice. Probably the most expensive one I had was the one in Mayfair Supper Club, and it was my least favourite, actually. But between the one in Parasol Down's being changed, by the way, to a place called Aft. The deck's being changed out there. That one and the one at Skyfall Lounge at Mandalay were my two favourites I've had in Vegas. So those two for now were my favourite. And with that being said, drinks. I'm getting another one. Fresh Modelo, ready for Steve Preve.
Steve Preve, most important, did you miss us? Of course we did. Will you ever stop going to Vegas? No, we'll never stop going to Vegas. Shauna and I have discussed this a few times. With room comps getting tighter and the costs going up, it will eventually get to the point we would consider all-inclusive trips, cruises, etc. I'm curious if there's a point where someone would say it's just not the same. I mean, I think it has changed from when we went earlier. Vegas has definitely changed.
I mean, comps-wise, mate, I think as comps have been quite generous. I mean, the trip we've just had, I mean, we're only low rollers.
Yeah.
We just had 10 nights. 9 of them were completely free in 5-star resorts.
Yeah.
The only night we paid for was the night in Circa. That's because we only had the 2 in Cosmo to break up the 72-hour thing with MGM. But the comps were really generous.
But in the future, obviously, if them comps changed and they did shorten to like maybe only giving us 1 or 2 nights, then we would seriously have to consider how much it's costing because them hotels are not cheap.
It's showing no signs as losing any kind of comps and that, but yeah, it would be. I mean, people would reconsider things like that, I suppose. RJ Thomas, did you manage to hang on to any M Live status? I dropped from a 14-year platinum to Sapphire in one fell swoop. Ooh, painful. So when it comes to M Live status, we're still actually Pearl, as I've been doing throughout this Q&A. I'll put it on screen. We're actually just short of 73,000 points, and as you know, we only need 75,000 for gold. So we're actually still on Pearl at the minute. It's no biggie, like obviously.
Well,
when you get to gold, it automatically waivers your resort fees and everything, but you still get perks with Pearl. I mean, if we had a car and anything, you still get free parking and all that stuff. It's no major deal. But yeah, it's a shame we were just that close to gold, I suppose.
Craig Meller, do you guys have a reward card each, or do you just stick to one between you to get maximum points? I heard M Life let married couples combine their points. Not sure if it's true.
I can't say I've heard the married couple thing. I mean, somebody put that in comments. I'm not sure about that one, but we've always used one account to maximise comp. So I'll get the cards in my name. I'll get a couple of cards, and we just use the same account. We've always done that. It's better to maximise comps for a stay like that. I know some people do it differently. I mean, I know Jason and Kayla, they do it differently. Like with like Jason, they like going to Cosmopolitan, for example. So Jason will get comps on Cosmo. and so will Kaylis, and they try and merge it together. And it's another preference thing, but I personally feel it's better to use one account and maximise your comps, and that's how me and Claire do it. John Fair, if money, time off work wasn't a factor, which months would you choose to go to Vegas? Mine would be the end of April or early October. Perfect weather.
April would probably be a good time. And September for us. And I still probably would like to go just before Christmas.
Yeah,
just to see the Christmas decorations and it all made.
I think like end of April would probably be a really good time. Like around Claire's birthday, and we've fancied doing that in the past.
Jonathan Jack would be keen to know whether you guys overall preferred Mayfair, Supper Club or Lakeside, and which you would suggest over the other for a splurge meal. Personally, for me, it'd be Lakeside. Personally, for me,
it'd be Lakeside as well, mate. But both of them are really good. You know, I'm not knocking either or. Personally, for us, we preferred Lakeside. We had a great experience, but we had a great experience in Supper Club as well.
But it's very expensive, Mayfair.
Mayfair's more expensive.
It's more expensive. But you are getting the show. I mean, you do at Lakeside
You're getting a lot of extra.
You're getting, you're getting the fountains. And,
you're getting a great service as well. I mean, both those places, the servers were absolutely top draw. They really were.
Julie Martin, hi. Just wondering how you got the comp for the Cosmopolitan if you hadn't stayed there before. Is it that you have a player's card and have gambled a fair amount?
I don't. It will, because we've got a player's card in that, and we do play in Cosmo, but I've never really gamed that much in Cosmo that would earn comps as such. And I think that offer for the 2 nights, it were kind of like a generic offer during COVID, which I believe a lot of people got the same 2-night offer. What surprised me about that 2-night offer is it included upgraded rooms, and as you saw in the vlog, we had a 1-bedroom terrace, which
no resort fees,
no resort fees as well, which were absolutely amazing. And I don't believe that's an offer that we're going to get given very much in the future, but we definitely took advantage of it on this occasion. So okay guys, I'm back after a quick battery change in the camera, and just in time for Mark Asquith. What's up, Mark? Now, Mark is my work colleague. I spend probably more time with Mark than I do with Claire, to be fair.
And Mark wants to know, where would you recommend a first timer to stop on their first Vegas visit?
If you can afford it, Bellagio or Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Centre Strip, perfect location.
Yeah. Nice hotels.
Again, it's a preference thing. A lot of people like to go somewhere first, like somewhere like Luxor, because it's completely novel, staying like a pyramid or something. And
there's Paris and places like that. Caesar's Palace.
First place we stopped was New York, because at the time I wanted to go to New York and we didn't, and we thought, oh, there's a New York hotel. And first time Claire went, she went to Circus. What a place!
Don't remind me.
Stuck to the floor.
Matt Wallace.
Matt Wallace, your DeLorean is parked on the drive. The date can be set to between 75 and 95 and your destination is Vegas. Question, what era would you like to go back, and what casino or hotel would you like to stay in, and why? To be quite honest with you, when it comes to the good old days of Vegas, I mean, it would be cool to go downtown and stay somewhere like Plaza, back in days like when they used to have that swimming pool above where Oscars is now and all that stuff. It'd be really novel to see what it were like down there then, before the whole 3-month thing, well, a long time before the 3-month thing, and it would be really cool to see it in the old days like that, definitely.
Or even, I mean, even going
like
back to
70s, definitely it'd be cool to see 70s and see all the old performers from back in 70s and that, all the famous folks who used to do all that. That'd be so cool, like the dinner shows and. Yeah, that'd be good.
But even going back just as far as the 90s, first time I ever went, there was still Stardust there. The Riviera was still there. You know, they've all gone now. Even back then, I enjoyed it so much. I mean,
to be honest with you, mate, just like Claire said, I'd have loved to have gone to Vegas. The first time Claire went to Vegas, which was it was like 6 years before I went. There were, you know, she went to Stardust and places like that. And we've always joked about that, because I'd have liked to have seen Stardust. And Claire spent quite a bit of time in there in 03, and like the first time I went was 09. So just to go then, like the 03 time, it'd have been cool, you know.
Ebony Christmas. Hi, me and my friend turned 21 last year and I go into Vegas for the first time in June. In terms of the casino rewards programs, how much do you roughly have to spend to get any kind of reward? And what do they start off as and build up to?
and also love your vlogs. Thanks for the kind comments, Emily, when you first came onto the group. We appreciate that. But yeah, rewards. Just make sure you join up with the rewards club like M Life and Total Rewards, like I've just been talking about. Every casino or casino chain like MGM Properties, Caesars Properties have their own loyalty scheme. Just make sure you're part of it. Just use your card wherever you can, and you will be surprised at what you can gain, and you might even earn free play while you're there. And basically they have a tier system, so if you get an MGM card, it starts at Sapphire, goes to Pearl, which we're on at the moment, then to Gold, then to Platinum. Like, you need to spend a bit to get to Platinum, but every one of those tiers has its own perks. Like when you get to Pearl, it doesn't take much to get to Pearl. You get to Pearl, you get little things like you get free parking, you get to skip lines at buffets. It's just these little things as part of your tier. But when it comes to your free rooms and your free play, etc., it's just basically based on your coining. Like you go to like these off-strip casinos, you get a loyalty card. The first time you plug it into the machine, you'll be able to maybe spin a little wheel, and you get anything from like $5 to $500. You know, you can get lucky with just simple things like that.
Vicky Gibson, I'm taking my partner for his first time in May. We're getting married too. Congratulations in May. I want him to become a Vegas obsessed like me. What was your first impression of Vegas? I absolutely loved it. I mean, I have such high expectations, and it takes a lot for me to be impressed.
Claire does have high expectations.
It over excelled my expectations.
And that's why we'll go back.
It was just so over the top, and everything I did, it was so much bigger and better than what I thought it was going to be.
It's yeah, same for me. I just fell in love with the place straight away. And
and I mean, I bigged it up to Nicky, didn't I?
Yeah,
I bigged it up to him.
Bigged it up to
I
me.
was like, why have you never been to Vegas? You need to go to Vegas. And he went, and yeah, I created a monster.
Claire forced me into going to Vegas, because originally I weren't bothered, was I? I wanted to go somewhere else, and she took me to Vegas, and that was it. Done deal.
Yolanda Miller, absolutely love your vlogs. Where are you and Claire originally from, and how long have you guys been married?
Oh, Yolanda's great comments on videos. Thanks, Yolanda, a great support.
I'm originally from Doncaster.
Yeah, where we live now is where Claire's originally from.
And Nicky, you're from?
So we live in South Yorkshire. Claire's from Doncaster. I'm more from West Yorkshire, like closer to like Wakefield area in West Yorkshire.
And we've been married for 9 years.
We've been married. It's 10 years this year.
Oh God, you're in 2022.
So this October,
10 years.
10 years.
10 years. 10 long years.
10 years of bliss, Claire. Dan Creasy, huge fans of your vlogs, guys. Me and the wife are huge fans, especially as Vegas is our second home. Haven't been in 3 years and going in April. Would love to know your favourite Bellagio fountain song. That's a good question, considering I've just been talking about falling in love with Vegas. So, and in fact I'll put the video down here, because I actually filmed it at the time in 2009, and went to see Bellagio fountains the first night. And it's Time to Say Goodbye by Andrea Bocelli and Sarah Brightman, is it? Yeah. And I've watched that with that song, and it's absolutely brilliant. And if I ever catch Bellagio fountains when that's playing now, I always love to stop and watch it. And it just takes me back to that first day, and yeah, that's definitely the one for me.
Yeah, me too. Totally agree. Yeah. That's my answer. Will Shaw, have you discussed another road trip across USA like you did a few years back? If so, where do you plan to go? I think we've more or less answered this. We'll definitely be doing more road trips. Huntington Beaches is next one, and wherever else we decide.
There's a handful of places I want to go, and we will do in the future. I want to do Lake Tahoe. That's somewhere I want to go. Also, I've spoke to a couple of guys about this recently. We would like to go to Canada at one point, and I would like to incorporate some kind of road trip in Canada. That'd be really cool to do. So watch this space. It's all plans that we can.
We'd like to do deep south as well, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's something we talked about before as well. Which there's a million ideas going around as to be.
America's so big. It's just
Here we go, look, Vegas Coin Show, they've got one each. So, Vegas Coin Show, check out the vlogs, guys. You saw them with us in part 3 of his vlog, I believe it were. Great guys, post a video every Friday. Lovely couple, so check them out. So firstly, Kaylee wants to know, what do you guys do at check-in? $20 trick, leave it up to fate, ask for an upgrade is available, etc. Now, we never do that.
We have asked for an upgrade once. Complimentary upgrade when we were in Mandalay Bay, and she just said no.
But to be honest with you, Kaylee, we always
We never do $20.
We always just book the rooms we want. It's It's not something we've never tried doing $20 trick. I don't feel comfortable doing that personally. I think it's literally just a bribe at the end of the day.
The only preference we ask for is an high floor.
Yeah, we just preference an high floor, but we like to have it in place and know what room we're having. So we always book the room we want. So that's how we do it. And Jason,
what is the best recommendation you've received from a subscriber viewer?
Oh God, that's an hard one.
Ooh.
Going to Valley of Fire. No, yes. Shout out to Andy Bird who talked me into that one. Shout out to you, mate.
Well, to be fair, I mean, from watching your vlogs, I'd say the Red Rock resort. We're going to be stopping there on the next trip, and after actually we went there with Kevin Curtis, and it was everything that we thought it was going to be. So
and you guys actually recommended that.
So I would say that.
It is somewhere I've been wanting to go for a while anyway.
But we'd never been or anything.
I mean, you guys kept badgering us about it, and Curtis and it was all good. But but shout out to Andy Bird again, mate. We had a great day at Valley of Fire. Well, I did anyway. But yeah, it was something again what were on my radar. But I took a few tips off you very briefly before we went, and it worked out just right, mate. So. Chris
Newton, have you ever been to Ellis Island in Vegas? If not, is it somewhere you would consider trying?
Yeah, we haven't been yet, and we were supposed to go this trip, and we just didn't find the time, and but we'll have to make time for it on next trip. But
we'll definitely go.
It's one of the places that just evades us all the time, so we're definitely going to go. I do want to try the barbecue food there. It's everybody raves about it, said it's really good. So Ellis Island's on the list to go along with M Resort, South Point. There's we've been going to Vegas for years, still plenty to do.
I was just about to say that the nicest thing about Vegas is it doesn't matter how many years you go. In fact, as friends were saying this last night to us when we went for a meal, it doesn't matter how many times we've been, we're always doing something different. There's always something new to see and do. And it's amazing. It's really one of the only places in the world where you can do that.
Yeah.
Because it just changes all the time.
Well, even just stuff that's been there forever and we still haven't got around to doing.
Yeah.
But it changes up that much that there's always new things to do, especially on this trip we've just had. Just between things like Resorts World, Circa, I mean, it's just crazy changes.
Vegas Mikhail. When you play a machine at the bar, a good example, Circa, I know it kept giving you drinks tickets as you played. Do you buy a drink when you first sit down, or do you just sit and wait until they offer you a drink?
No, so if you sit at a bar top anywhere really, like I don't know, Chandelier Bar or where we went Circa, you put some money in the video poker, and the barman will give you a comp drink anyway. And then the new system, they'll spit out tickets as you go, and it's very generous. I mean, when this, like I said in the vlog, when this system came in, people were like complaining about it, and people just taking negative outlook on it straight away. And it's degenerate. I were only sat there a short while, and that machine spit 4 tickets out, and it spaced me only having 1 drink. But yeah, you sit at the bar, and the barman will give you a drink anyway. Like say you stick 50 in video poker or something, he'll give you a drink, and then you just keep using tickets. It's a generous system. There's nothing wrong with it, I don't think.
Kevin Alderton, does Claire embrace the creative process required to put these great vlogs together? For example, the subject shots, panning over the shoulder, walking into casinos, etc. I imagine getting the right shot might take several attempts, so just wondered if it impacted on the holiday. I only asked because on my first vlog attempt, if I even went to record something, I would get, oh, FFS, will you put that effing camera down?
That's Steve's quality. But yeah, Kev, to be quite... I had a conversation with somebody about this other day, and a lot of people seem to think that I spend ages setting shots up and things, and I don't actually. And I don't know whether that's a credit to me, how I do it or what, but 99% of the time, in seriousness, like those slow-mo shots you see of Claire walking, she doesn't even know I'm recording her. I'm just walking behind her, I see it and I shoot it, and it's as simple as that most of the time. There's the odd shot, when like the balcony one, for example, in Cosmopolitan, when Claire walks out onto the balcony. I mean, she was walking out onto the balcony anyway, and I just said, oh, just wait a minute, let me just get behind you before you do that. But it literally took, it's like 5 or 10 seconds to do it. I see something, and I just record it as I go. I don't really set things up that much.
It doesn't really impact on the holiday, because everything that we're doing anyway. Yeah. he's got his camera out a lot.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, with all the footage that he needs to do these vlogs. I don't think people realise how much you actually have to film to get all these shots that he does in between all the...
Just to put it into perspective, mate, at the end of that trip, I had 2,000 videos. 2,000 videos to go through to make those vlogs. That's a lot of videos, to be fair. But I don't spend much time at all setting them up. I just shoot as I go. Half of the time, some of those shots you see that look set up, and Claire doesn't even know I'm filming them. It's just one of them things, really. Olwen Williams, love the vlogs. My question is, do you book your special evening dinners before you go on your holiday or while you're there? We'll book a couple just to get a bit of an itinerary in place. Well, for example, this trip that you've just watched, the only meals we booked was the Top of the World restaurant and Gordon Ramsay's pub with Jason and Kaylee. Because we had that day out with those guys planned, so we booked the lunch there. So we had it all in place. And the Top of the World restaurant we had booked because we did say, well, we're going to have a celebration dinner for getting back. And it's the only thing we had what was set to one side, whereas cash were concerned. But
in the upcoming one in July, I'm surmising we may have to do some bookings because it's going to be a busy time.
But basically, if you're wanting to go places and you know what you want to do on certain days, book them anyway.
Yeah, so you're not disappointed.
You're not disappointed. I mean, January, this trip for it weren't really much of a concern. It's not that busy. But if you're wanting to go to places, just book them, and you can cancel and rebook them. It's not an issue.
John Pritchard, really enjoyed the meetup at Victoria Gate a few years back. Any plans on hosting an event there this year?
We will look at doing that again, John, actually. I need to speak to those guys there. We're actually going to be going a few times in the coming weeks, so if I bump into relevant people I've dealt with in the past, I will speak about that.
Because COVID's been
last couple of years, obviously. It's definitely been a no-no for big groups. I don't know what the stance is on that at the moment, but
we
might, if we can, we might look at doing something at back end of year.
Yeah.
But that's something we're definitely going to have to keep you posted on. So just watch this space on that one.
Yeah.
Mark Anderson, all right, mate. Pennies for Vegas. Check him out. He's another example of somebody who does Vegas differently. Mark does it on a budget. It's interesting videos. Were you able to keep Claire off the Bud Light, or was CGI used to cover this? And I see this is a running joke. Well, I did a video in California. I told Claire off for drinking Bud Light. We don't do Bud Lights over here. And Mark's always joking about
I was drinking it because he had no Bud. Let's get this straight, Mark. There was no Bud, and I was offered Bud Light.
I'll tell you what, Mark, she's not going to like this, but if you're ever there when we're there, I'll make her go to stage door and drink a Bud Light with her. And I know she ain't going to be up for that, but we'll put that one in place.
Adri Swing, which hotels are you open to stay at in the future?
Red Rock. Yeah, we want to stay at Red Rock. A couple of Caesars properties, depending on comps and stuff, but I think we'd like to go back to them all.
I'd like to stay in Paris.
Funnily enough, I've never stayed in Luxor. And I mean, one day, and I've had Luxor booked twice as well, going back on those cancelled trips. We've had Luxor booked twice, so one day I'll stay in Luxor.
Anna Paffard, we've booked to go to Vegas for 5 nights in August this year, and we've become obsessed with watching your vlogs. They're getting us so excited for our trip. How far in advance would you book certain things, e.g. restaurants? What's your recommended daily gambling limit? What are your most visited bars and restaurants? Any tips, must-see things for a couple in their late 20s, 30s, visiting for the first time together?
Just soak it all up, you know. If it's your first time, just visit everything, soak it all up.
It's never too early to book.
It's never too early to book things. If there's certain restaurants you want to go to, just put yourself in a bit of an itinerary. I mean, even first time we went, we did have a bit of an itinerary in place. We went to see 3 shows.
Yeah, we did think we were going back again.
Yeah, so you know, put them in place. You can cancel them. You know, a lot of these places you can just book on like Open Table and what have you. Book a couple of shows, something you fancy. I'd recommend as a first time go to see like a Cirque du Soleil show or something. You know, it's a quintessential Vegas type show. See if there's any headliners on for big gigs. You know, book one of those. If there's the first time we went to see the Killers in Mandalay Bay. We went to see Queen in Park MGM one year, you know, check for headliners, check for regular shows, book some restaurants. And
there's no recommended daily gambling limit because that's a personal preference.
You gamble what you feel you're comfortable with gambling.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to do anything.
Yeah.
It's your own budget. Yeah. It's your own pace.
It's what you're comfortable with at the end of the day.
And there's like on this Facebook group, there's loads of information. There's a lot of very savvy people on here who can give you a lot of tips. If anything you want to ask, just post a comment on here and you'll get lots of
feedback. One big tip though, if you're a newbie to Vegas, take comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Do not be taking high heels.
Everything is further than you think.
And it can be quite uncomfortable. If you don't have the right footwear, it can ruin a trip.
There's a running joke in the Vegas community, and that's not far away. We'll walk. No. Yeah.
love the vlogs.
Dina Jackson.
How does Claire choose her random machines? I'm thinking of doing this in September. Once again, love the vids. Well, they're exactly what you've just said. They're just random machines. I'm just walking through a casino. I want to play something I've never ever played before, as you can see from these vlogs we've just done. There were machines on there we didn't even know how to play them.
It's something Claire does like to do actually. Like she likes to choose a random machine.
Yeah, and I'll just go right, random machine over there. That's where I'm sitting.
She's got like a bit of a random machine of the day kind of vibe going on. It ought to be like a segment in vlog, to be quite honest.
So I just go with the flow. Just take my thing. And
if you like the look of it. Give it a few dollars.
$20-$30 in and see what happens.
Just don't play Crazy Rich Asians. Oh my god. I was sick of seeing you playing that thing.
I watched the film actually when I got back.
She watched film on flight on my own.
So now I know what it's all about.
I can't get away from this.
Yeah. Johnny Vegas, when was the moment you fell in love with Vegas?
How's it going, Johnny? We need to get, mate, when you're there same time as us, you guys, we need to have that cocktail. I mean, we said this a long time ago.
The moment I fell in love with Vegas was the first time I ever went and I walked into Caesar's Palace. I was just in awe.
Like what I said earlier with me, again, it was Bellagio fountain moment with time to say goodbye, and I was like, yeah, I'll be coming here more often. It was one of those.
Tracy Mainwaring, would you ever do an RV road trip?
An RV? No, probably not actually. I mean, I'd do it. I'd definitely
I'm not
do
that
it.
adventurous.
I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't be scared of driving one of those things. I drive trucks to be fair, but I mean, there's a big company. When we went to Yosemite, there were loads of these big RV ones, and some of those roads they were trying to get up were quite frightening. But yeah, I'd do it. I don't think Claire would definitely not do it. She hates camping and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, he had all along with Yosemite. He did really well to get me in Yosemite. And I did love it. But that to me is not proper camping. That were a proper bed, a proper bathroom, and yeah.
It's road trips, yes. RVs, probably not. So, Harundi Sandhu, hi guys, new to the channel. Welcome along, mate. Catching up on your videos last few years. Staying in the Mirage for the first time in March. Was wondering how you found the casino and drink service there. I hear more of the casinos using tokens opposed to drink service is a good thing. Tokens is fine, but that's generally when you play the bar tops at a bar. When you're playing the regular machines, I mean, I think some of the places were running that out a bit back. I know Sahara were doing that with slot machines, and you could actually choose your drinks on a menu on there. I'm not sure if they're really rolling that kind of thing out at the minute. If I'm going to be honest with you, mate, the last few times we've been to Mirage, the drink service has been pretty poor in there, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not been great.
There's nothing wrong with the casino.
Nothing wrong with it, but the drink service has been kind of slow, yeah. But the tokens thing, you do that just like if you sat at bar tops and what have you. But you'll always get comp drinks while you're playing, mate. It's not something to worry about. Yeah, you'll always get them.
Matthew Bull, do you ever do a pool day when in Vegas?
Every day, mate.
Every day. If we're there for the right months.
Apart from this trip, obviously, but yeah, we always do pool days. There's some great pool. You can make the best pools in the world in Vegas.
Gavin Jenkins, any plans for UK slot day night? Now things are getting back to normal. We've just
we've just touched on that.
Yeah,
I'm going to speak to the guys at Victoria Gate. We'll see what's happening. That's going to be a work in progress. I can't give you
a definite answer. No. Simon Green, you are often up and about early in Vegas. I was wondering what sort of time you hit the A at night, especially the first night or two. I always stay up late on day of landing in Vegas from UK, so that my body clock is on track next morning, avoiding the 4 AM wake up. PS, great vlogs.
Thanks, mate.
We never have a time to go to bed, do we, really?
No. We do stay up late. Sometimes it's really late, like 2 or 3 AM. Sometimes it's not that late at all, and we'll chill in the room.
I mean, we went with my brother and sister-in-law years ago, and I mean, sometimes I won't go to bed till 4 or 5 in the morning. So gambling, we're good.
It's a regular time in Vegas, isn't it?
So it all depends.
Body clock's never right for me, mate. I'm a bad sleeper as it is, to be honest with you, and I'm always awake early. I'm getting 3 and 4 hours a night sleep, if that, when I'm in Vegas.
I can't survive on that.
Yeah.
Claire Lever, do you and Claire get any comps or freebies for being such fantastic vloggers?
No, we don't get stuff like that. We don't ask for stuff like that either. Not like, I don't like this word influencer. I joke about this with my mate at work, and like Instagrammers and this influencer thing. I don't like that term. You know, it's people being fake for free shit, and it's just, I'm not into that at all.
If we ever did get anything free, we'd be very transparent about it and say on the vlog, we have got
the thing at Circa. We got that hamper at Circa.
But we weren't expecting that. We didn't ask for it.
That really took me by surprise. Yeah. The letter, the hamper, and it was just so nice, and we were so grateful for it. But we don't expect anything, guys. At the end of the day, we're just making trip vlogs on what we do, you know, and I'm not trying
We're not getting comps because we're vloggers, we're just getting comps because of what we put in. What
the people at Victoria Gate have always been good to us, just with permission to let us record, and they've always been good to us, but you know, we don't expect freebies.
No. Darren Graham, what was the biggest change, if any, you noticed since the last time you were there?
Tons and tons of new slot machines. You know, the Circa, Resorts World, lots of new things. You always see the people with the photographs and the showgirls, and I think there seemed to be a lot of that this time.
More showgirls and things.
Yeah, that seems to be.
Do not get sucked in by that new first-timers. Do not
Don't
fall for that.
The showgirls, I mean, I saw this one lady outside Treasure Island, and she had her pictures took with showgirls, and then there's that awkward moment when they're asking for money, and this woman just battered them off, and they were giving it a little bit of this, and there's a bit too much of that on the strip. Yeah. There's a bit too much of that on the strip. These
people are expecting money if you have any photographs taken with them, so just ignore them or say no thank you.
From what I can see, especially with people dressed in Disney outfits and the show, there seems to be a lot more of that these days than there used to be, for sure.
Dean Batch, what vlogging upgrade do you think you will acquire next? Software, hardware?
Actually, I'm gonna do I've got a room in the house that I'm gonna just turn into a little office, and I just basically want to have my laptop linked up to a bigger monitor, because I'll literally just do this sat with my laptop. I don't have any other like media to use for it, so that's probably the next upgrade for me. Cameras wise and equipment, I'm alright with what I've got at the moment, unless my laptop dies on me or something. My laptop's just a middle of the road laptop, but it runs Premiere Pro alright, which I was quite surprised at when I first started using it. So as far as upgrades go at the moment, I'm fine. I just want to do a little bit of a room out in the house just to make it a bit easier, but other than that I'm good.
Sarah Powell, where did you get your Vegas sign from on your wall behind you? That's from
oh, that tin sign.
We got it from a shop in Doncaster Town Centre, but it's shut now.
Yeah, it's just
whether
like little pictures. It was nothing
it's
special.
Just little signs, and we just saw it and bought it. I don't even know the name of the shop, and it's not there anymore. Whether it closed through COVID.
You could probably pick them up on Amazon and things like that. To be fair,
and it weren't expensive.
No,
I think
it weren't dear.
They were like £15, something like that. What's your opinion of the new properties, Resorts World, Virgin, Circa?
Well, first of all, Virgin isn't somewhere I'm interested in going at all, because since they changed that place from Hard Rock, it looks crap, and it's just got no character whatsoever.
But we've never been.
I've never been, so I can't really have much of an opinion on it, but I don't fancy it whatsoever.
Resorts World and Circa to me shouldn't even be in the same sentence. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Circa's amazing. It's like if you asked people like us, you know, designer casino, that's the sort of place you'd probably come up with. Resorts World, I've got to say, I'm still a bit on fence with it. I want to go again and try it out. I mean, to take away good things about that place, it's ultra modern, it's massive, I liked the casino. I think the casino floor were good. The food court, like we went to, I think the food in there were great. And I love how they took, because they call it famous food street eats. And all those places are like little famous places out in Asia. And I love the concept of all that. But they need to iron these issues out at that place. I mean, especially with foreign gamers like us, it were hard getting a gaming card, it were hard ordering food, it was just, everything just seemed overcomplicated, and there's a lot of dead space in there as well. And you didn't like it at all, did you? And you were looking forward to it.
I think that's what it was. I was so looking forward to going, and I was so disappointed when I came out. I was just like, I was expecting so much more. It weren't. I mean, you're saying it's large, and it is large, but to me, on people's vlogs prior to going, it looked so much larger. When I got in there, in that main space, I was like, is this it? The food, for me, if you don't like Asian food, you're stuffed. So again, it's got
a lot of issues that need ironing out, and we've spoken to a lot of people, and they've had issues in there, and we just watched Jason and Kaylee's video, actually.
They're the second
again, watch those guys. The video they did, and they put them in the room were disgusting.
Yeah,
and it's like, this is a brand new 4.3 billion resort. I want to try it again. I think I'd like a good night out in there with some friends or something, give it a try, and hopefully they'll iron these issues out. That's our opinion. I know a lot of people love it.
Yeah, people won't agree with me. Some people love it, but I don't.
I do like some of the things in there. It didn't overwhelm me whatsoever, if I'm honest.
Gary Lambert, did you find the slots were tighter than usual on this trip?
No, the slots aren't tighter than they are any other time.
They're always tight with me.
They're always.
Every year.
We did alright. I mean, we did alright on slots. No big
Small
wins.
and consistent.
No big wins. Not really any big losses. Consistently did alright. You know, biggest win I had was probably 300 and odd. But I think it was that Medusa game, 300 and odd. But
yeah,
consistently a good time on slots in that trip, I've got to say.
Jenny Maddox Moulding, is Vegas at the moment cashless, or do most places still accept cash as well as card? Thanks. We use both. There were no.
They're not cashless.
Yeah,
no.
They're not cashless.
You can go down that road in like Resorts World actually with ultra modern places, and you can go cashless in places like that. But no, it's just normal.
We take all cash, but we did use as card.
Yeah, we use.
So yeah, both. Don't worry about that. You can use both.
Only thing I don't use cash and card for is like Uber. You got it linked up to your account. Might buy just odd thing on this card, maybe when Claire goes shopping or something like that, but we're mostly cash when we go Vegas. Kevin from Curtis and Kevin, who took us out again. Kevin, thanks for that day out. It was lovely. It was great to meet you guys. I'm sure we'll do it again. When will your next trip to Vegas be? Any chance you'll set up a group poll? What off street? So yeah, we've answered these ones, but yeah, next trip's going to be in July. Group poll, I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. I want to do M Resort, I want to do South Point, and obviously I want to go to Ellis Island, which we still haven't got to, so yeah, them three for sure.
Michelle Atherton, what is your favourite casino scent? I think the Cosmo.
Cosmo, yeah. I always liked Mirage. Mirage always sticks in my mind, and it's just one of them things, but Mirage has always been the one I'll remember, if you would. Yeah. But you were like, yeah, Cosmo's nice.
Kim Long, please can you explain the pre-test? We are going in 4 weeks.
Oh, so the pre-test when we were going, basically we used a company called Express Test at Heathrow Airport, because they changed it to a 24-hour rule. So literally, like day before, we went down, stayed over at night. We used the Express Test drive-through centre in the old Terminal 4.
Which you don't actually drive through, you just get out
long
your car.
stay. And just got out your car, did an antigen test, got back in his car, waited for the results. Come on an email literally 15 minutes later. It was very straightforward. Those of you who are worrying about that kind of thing at the moment, it's much more straightforward than you'll expect.
You do blow it out of proportion a bit when you think I got stressed about it. I was reading everything before we went, and I was just like, oh, this is giving me an headache. But do you know, when you actually do it, and a lot of people have said this, it's so much easier than what you think it's going to be.
Yeah, and when we did it, don't forget, there were 3 tests. They stopped the one overseas while we were there, and we had the one when we came back. But it was all very straightforward. I'd try not to worry about it. If you're worrying about it, it's quite easy to do.
Yeah.
The last question is from Paul.
Tweet.
Chute. Apologies, mate, if I've misspelled your name there, but Paul Chute, I think you might pronounce that. Where is the best dueling pianos playing at the moment on the strip? Everybody's go-to seems to always be New York with that. It's not really something that we're
It was about, actually though, I remember when we were having pizza with Kaylee and Jason. That were going off, so really loud. New York.
They were banging in there. There were a lot of people in there, considering it was fairly quiet, and it still did seem quite popular. So I think New York's kind of place to go for that. I don't know if they still do that one at Harrah's or not, but it's not generally something we bother with. But
no.
It's always banging in New York when people are doing it. So
and you've also asked where is the best coffee on the strip.
I don't know if people realise, but I can't stand coffee. I can't drink coffee. Claire has a latte.
I have a latte, but I'd only go to Starbucks for it because I'm not a massive coffee drinker. So I wouldn't know that. We're the wrong people to ask.
Yeah, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but we do like Aria Patisserie and we do like the Bellagio Patisserie. I think for what they are and what you get in those places, they are quite good value for money. Because if you go to the Aria Patisserie, it's a beautiful place. It's open 24 hours. There's lots of things you can get in there, and then there's a Starbucks down in Crystals right off Aria, and you're going to pay more money in there. So you go to the Aria Patisserie. It's good. So yeah, guys, that kind of covers the questions we got of Honours group. It's been another interesting one. It's been good to get back to it because I mean the last time we did this was back in 2019.
Yeah.
Again, as next trip is planned for July, so it's not too far away. We've got 3 nights in Cali already pending. We don't know much from what we're going to do from that.
And I've got to say actually to everybody, we were so surprised but so pleased how the vlogs have gone, because we thought after not going for 2 years that they wouldn't be as popular as what they actually have been. So that's thanks to all you lot watching now.
Yeah, we do appreciate
We do appreciate every single one of you, so thank you.
We do, yeah, and I didn't expect them to go as well as they did.
We're really pleased with it.
Yeah,
so.
we appreciate all you guys. You've been super supportive throughout this. We've had so many messages of support. It's been difficult to try and keep on top of it. We always try and answer each and every one of you. But yeah, I mean, that brings it all to a close there. It's been an epic trip. It's been one of my favourites. I mean, we really went for it on this one. It was a busy one. There weren't a lot of downtime in this one.
There weren't.
But it was awesome. I love putting the videos together. I enjoy video editing. I mean, I get so many awesome comments about how I put videos together, and I really appreciate it. It's really nice to get that kind of feedback because it's something
hard work as well.
It's something I love doing. I love Vegas. I love video editing. It's really cool to bring them both together.
And we love meeting people, meeting all the Vegas community.
Yeah, and it's been awesome.
It's really nice. So if ever you do ever see us around, if we're in Vegas, please come and say hello.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
We always, it's nice to catch up with people, have a drink, and we love all that.
It's interesting to meet different people from different parts of the world.
And it's a great community. We get a lot out of it. We put a lot into it. We get a lot out of it, and we really enjoy it. And like I say, it's been an epic trip, guys. Yeah. It's been epic putting these together. That brings it to a close. We had part 10 out yesterday prior to recording this. This is going to finish it off. We might consider doing some live streams going forward, and we'll keep you up to date, of course, on Facebook group and social media. But with that being said, Claire, cheers to you guys, and we shall see you in the next one.
Bye.
Take care.